My name is Cameron Reynolds. I'm the Chief Executive of Volition. Our aim is to save lives through early detection of cancers through a very low-cost platform looking for nucleosomes to find cancers and several different types of cancers. Cancer is actually a very survivable disease, but currently it's diagnosed typically quite late. When you find a cancer late, it's often metastasized in your body, meaning it's in several areas, which then means a lot of chemotherapy and very bad outcomes typically. If you're found in stage 4, typically, say for example in colorectal cancer, your chances of surviving 5 years is about 10%. If you're found early, when it can just be removed, it hasn't spread, no chemotherapy, you have about 90% chance of surviving 5 years or more, and sometimes quite a lot more. So finding early is really key, but typically cancers are not found early now because most detection diagnostics are not very good at what they do. They're either expensive, invasive, or they suffer from low compliance, which means a lot of people refuse to take them as a diagnostic or a test. And if you refuse to take the test, it's completely inaccurate. Obviously, there's zero detection in those people, so it's a real problem. So the name of the technology is nucleosomics, and the name of the tests are Nu.Q, which stands for nucleosome quantification. Why it's a game changer? It's a very simple platform of tests we use called ELISA, which means they can be used very quickly, very easily, and at a very low cost base for the healthcare systems. And they can be done in your normal clinical procedure. So typically cancers are not diagnosed by blood tests, they're diagnosed by scans or other methods, and all these methods have severe problems. So what makes us a complete game changer is a low cost platform in blood, which can be done very much in your normal clinical procedure. So, and by doing all of this, you find the cancer early, which means it can be removed, and you can then really put hope and cancer in the same sentence. Yes, we have very exciting news today. We've just announced our first CE marked on our first complete product. So what this means is we can sell the colorectal triage test in all of the 28 European countries and a range of other countries around the world. So we've changed from a clinical company where we're developing tests to actually having our first product we can sell legally to hundreds of millions of people around the world. Worldwide, typically you screen between the ages of 50 to 75. So in Europe, that's about 150 million people. In the US, that's about 90 million people. And of course, in the rest of the world, that adds up to many billion or two more. But the markets we're addressing immediately are the US and Europe. The Europe with a CE mark is about 150 million people in that age group. The new test we're showing is designed to cut down the number of colonoscopies needed in the current systems in Europe and the rest of the world, which are fecal testings. So basically, if you are positive in the current testing program, which is measuring blood in your stool, currently every one of those goes to a colonoscopy. But by adding our test to the current pathway, we can cut that down by 20 to 30% of colonoscopies, which is a very good outcome for the individuals, less people needing a colonoscopy, and also for the healthcare systems, which are already very stretched. We could either cut down the number of colonoscopies, or they can use the same number of colonoscopies on very high-risk people. Yeah, 28 countries is far too many for a company our size to launch in every country right off the bat. So you can either go through someone else in the sales process, but given each country there's a group of key opinion leaders, it's not doctor by any means, it's the healthcare system decides. So you need to convince the key people in those countries, which is something we can do in a small number of countries ourselves. So what we're doing now is targeting the 5 most likely to take on the test right from day one. Denmark, Holland, France, Scotland and Ireland. So those are the countries we'll be targeting. So what's the sort of market size for this test in those countries? The smaller countries, it's in the small tens of thousands. In the larger countries, it's 100,000 to 200,000 tests per year. So it's very substantial. But we take bite sizes at a time to make sure we're, and the aim is to become very familiar with the healthcare systems in those countries and try to get them over time to transfer to a frontline blood test, which ultimately we think is a much better answer due to compliance. People much more likely to take a blood test than a fecal test. So it's very exciting. We're actively launching the product now and we're aggressively chasing those 5 countries. So we're launching this first product to fit into the current pathway so that we can help people today easily and quickly in the current systems. But we have a much bigger vision. We'd really like to save lives in many different countries through a very low cost platform that can be run very easily, that people are happy to do, and in a wide range of cancers through our nucleosomics technology and our Nu.Q tests. So as a small company, it's very important to do things in the short term to help to create a product that helps people today. But I think we have a very big vision in the coming years to have a very wide range of tests in different cancers, starting in colorectal, then moving to pancreatic, lung, and we've had great results in all of those cancers, including prostate. So, but as a company that is our size, you cannot launch 4 products at the same time. So we're just doing step by step to help as many people as quickly as we can. Yes, it's been a very exciting quarter, not only now obviously this product, but last quarter we closed a financing which brought in around $12 million before fees, which meant at that time we had about $24 million, which is for us an all-time high. And we're very careful with our money. We're burning under $2.5 million per quarter, so that kind of money lasts us a long time. We also have announced we've bought a large facility in Belgium, 19,000 square feet, which will be our new home where we can do a lot more research. As we talked about before, we're starting with smaller products and pushing to bigger products. This facility will allow us to do that in a better way and a quicker way. And we also signed up, I think, the most exciting trial I've ever seen, and certainly the biggest one we've ever been involved in, with the Avida Hospital again in Copenhagen, where they're collecting patient samples from 30,000 patients over a 6-year period, where we'll be getting patient samples for them every 2 years. So such a huge study and a longitudinal study over the same patients 3 times over a period of time allows us to follow people before they had cancer, when they get cancer, and after that, so that we can really see how early our tests can detect cancer. We know from our trials we detect early cancer very well, which again makes us very unique. We're not only unique in the amount of blood, the little amount of blood we need, the accuracy we're showing early, but also the adaptability on this very simple platform technology. I think it's best characterized. What we're looking for is very unique, and we have a massive intellectual property portfolio, but the method of detection is 35 years old, so it's very easy to roll out. And this new trial will really help with all of that, because it helps us in the short term with the colorectal products, but also helps us long term with samples from a wide range of other, in 30,000 people of that age, there will be a wide range of other cancers. And being from Denmark, we'll know exactly which ones are which cancers. So it'll provide us a big database for the years to come as well as we roll out more products.